Hey, why is that router still sitting in the box? Oh, I know that look. Yeah, I get it. My first router sat in the box too. But then I took it out of the box and it sat on the shelf some more. Because the first time I turned it on, it felt like it wanted to twist out of my hand and walk on wood. So then I let it sit some more. But one day, enough was enough. And I decided I was going to figure it out. Turns out, you don't need to understand everything about it. You just have to quit overthinking it and go make some sawdust. So let's get into it. So first things first, put these on. And if you got them, put this on. When you get ready to change bits, make sure and remove your power source, whether that be a battery or a plug. You want to make sure and seat it and tighten it. All right, all right. I probably know your first question. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The first time I used mine, same thing. Like I said, it felt like it wanted to walk across the wood. You feel it pulling, it's trying to walk down the edge. That's the wrong direction. When you feed it the right way, same router, same bit, different animal. Quick little tip. This always helps me. Put your thumb on the edge you're going to route, and your finger will point the direction the router should move. That's it. Go ahead and try it. See, much better, much easier that way. Okay, that's a good question. If you're feeding it the right direction and it still feels like you're fighting it, listen to the motor. You hear that? That's too much material. Or it's too fast. You're pushing too fast. Or you've got a dull bit. See, with those multiple shallow passes, you hear the difference? Smaller bites, same router. That motor is much happier. And the problem wasn't the router. It rarely is. Hey, if yours has spent more time on a shelf than on a project, go ahead and hit that like button. I know I'm not the only one. I used to think so. I mean, bigger is better, right? But here, feel that. Smaller, lighter, way easier to control. And this one is the one I'm going to reach for almost every time. You've seen that if you've seen my videos. This big one, I use it for bow tie inlays. And that's just so that I don't have to take the bushing in and out, change the bit all the time. Everything else, that'll be my trim router. So what about all these bits? Looks like thousands of them are available, but you don't need 1,000. I recommend about 3 to get started. Round over, a chamfer, and a flush trim. You see that little bearing? It follows the edge for you. Buy the rest after you're comfortable and only when a project calls for it, not before. Hey, if there's something you want me to go deeper on, profiles, templates, edge guides, drop a comment below. That's where a lot of these videos get started at. Yeah, This is one that bothers me too. In fact, I just had this happen the other day. Had I done this, test cuts. Had I done that, that's it. It's not a beginner thing. Every good woodworker does it. New bit, change the depth. Trying something new. 30 seconds on a piece of scrap can save you hours of having to rebuild something. Ask me how I know. So, the router didn't change. It's still the unwieldy beast it is. I did. Maybe that's true for you too now. Quit overthinking it and go make some sawdust. If that gets you fired up about your router and giving it a shot again, I'd appreciate it if you smash that subscribe button because this helps the channel more than you can ever know. There's a lot more of this kind of stuff coming. Come build with us. Until next week, get in the shop and be a maker.